With those opening comments, we'll turn it over to the CEO and Chairman of Bellator MMA, Mr. Bjorn Rebney.
Thanks, Mike. I typically, when we do these press conferences, I typically start with the first fights of the night, say something about those. And there were some great fights on the card tonight, and I'll be happy to talk about them. I think what made me fall in love with mixed martial arts when I first saw it, and this was many, 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 many years ago, was just that when it's done at the highest level, it speaks to the best of what we are. It speaks to courage, and it speaks to determination, and it speaks to honor, and it speaks to guts, and it represents just the very, very kind of highest level of what we can be. And I didn't for a second think that we could possibly see a better fight the second time that Eddie Alvarez fought Michael Chandler. I thought the first fight was the best fight I've ever seen. But those attributes, I don't know, that's just, it's what connected me to the game. It's what made me fall in love with this sport. And when you see it at that level, and when you see that kind of performance, it's just, for me, it's awe-inspiring. Tremendous amount of respect for the gentleman to my left. And he displayed those attributes at the highest level that I think you can display them at tonight. Came back after being out of this game for a year and put on a performance the likes of which I have actually never seen. An unbelievable performance, incredible performance by Michael Chandler, who's not with us right now. He's on his way to the hospital. But I've just got nothing but admiration for Ed Alvarez for what he was able to do tonight, and for that brief period of 25 minutes of a gift that he gave to us this evening. So Ed, congratulations on an absolutely incredible performance.
Thank you, guys. I was gonna head right to the hospital too, right along with Mike, but I told Bjorn that I'd come for a couple minutes to address you guys. I'm gonna take zero credit for what happened tonight. It takes two people to put on a fight like that. Not just me and Mike Chandler, and the guy fights his ass off. He has the heart of a lion, and it takes two of us to do that. And we went in there and we put it on the line, and I really, at the end of the fight, I didn't give a shit who won that fight. It was just special to be a part of it, and I'm happy to be a part of
it. Yeah, Ed's going to take off, get some well-deserved rest, and get checked out to make sure that he's okay, and then we'll continue the press conference from there. A guy sitting to my left, Emmanuel Newton, is somebody that is very much like a Daniel Strauss, very much like a Pat Kern, a Michael Chandler. Guys that we found, guys who've got incredible, incredible talent, and we're able to use this system that we have, the tournament system, the objectivity, to propel themselves to new heights, and didn't get put behind somebody, didn't get stuck in a kind of a golden boy system. And you know, a lot of people, when King Mo and Emmanuel Newton fought the first time, a lot of people said it was the upset of the year. I was not one of those people. I thought that Emmanuel Newton was a world-class light heavyweight fighter, and that anybody that he got inside of a cage with would have significant problems with him. So it comes as no shock to me that he was able to come back and win this fight again. And it will have a unification bout against Attila Veg coming up the next season on Spike in probably 4 to 5 months. So congratulations on a huge, huge win. And King Mo, an amazingly talented fighter, one of the best personalities and best guys that we've got in our game, and he will be back as well.
First off, gotta thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, I wouldn't have this victory. I wouldn't have these skills to be so technical and unorthodox. And I believe, that's really what won me the fight. Yeah, Mo is an amazing wrestler, arms are long and his hands are huge. And I'm like, how is he grabbing me like this? It was crazy, you know, but I just kept pushing forward, you know. I knew that being a more technical striker and being unorthodox and keeping him thinking, you know, I think is what really won the fight for me. But, you know, I just want to thank Bjorn, you know, and Bellator, you know, just for having me and allowing me to, you know, to be on this huge card. And I want to thank Mo for allowing, you know, stepping up to the plate again to fight me, you know, and you know, I'm elated right now. I'm so happy. It's like a dream. It's just like, I don't know, it's like Twilight Zone for me right now, you know, lights shine everybody, you know, but I'm really happy, and I'm going to continue to train and get better. And, you know, I think I fought one of the, you know, the best wrestler in the sport, you know, so I don't know what Attila's going to do to me because I'm coming for him. So thank you.
You know, I give a shout out to Emmanuel Newton. Good victory. Personally, you know, I thought I won rounds 1, 4, and 5, but you know, the judges saw a different way, so it is what it is. I'm just gonna bounce back in the tournament and get my title shot again. You know, and things happen, and you know, all I can do is move forward and get my shot back. Thank y'all.
Yeah, I don't know. I went back and talked to Mike and talked to Ed right after the fight, and they both, I mean, you saw the fight. You know, Ed was able to make it to the press conference. The doctors were suggesting that Ed went right to the hospital as well, but he wanted to come out and say some things, which is, you know, great. And Mike wanted to come as well, but it just, I mean, that's a, you know, I don't know what else to say other than you saw the fight. You know, I mean, it's, you know, that's tough.
Prior to the fight, Eddie said that you guys hadn't spoken in quite some time. How was it being in the cage with him after he won the fight and just sitting next to him and talking to him?
Before we, you know, Ed and I had the issue that we had, I said it many times, we had a good relationship, you know, and I know it got, to a certain extent, got dragged through the mud, but I like Ed a lot. I had an amazing amount of respect for Ed after seeing what I saw tonight. I mean, the level of respect has gone up 10, 20-fold. His ability inside the cage is just unbelievable. I mean, he's one of the greatest lightweights in MMA, and his courage and his heart is just unparalleled. It wasn't uncomfortable. I mean, I spent 4 years talking to him regularly, and we saw each other, and it just kind of, the wall came down when we saw each other and said, hey, and it was pretty easy, you know?
Yeah, and I don't mean to put you in a position to make an excuse, but he put it out there, so I was curious.
No, it's no excuse. I mean, it's known. In 2004, I was hit by a Ford Expedition as a pedestrian, and I wasn't able to walk for 6 months. The doctors tell me I never play sports, and I've got disc problems in my neck and my back. I was training and it went out, and I had to get injections for this fight. But you know, I was okay. You know, that's not what lost me the fight. Joe was just better tonight. You know. He got me, but yeah, I've had some problems with that. Yeah.
Makes no difference there. My goal is to get the belt. If Emmanuel has it, that's cool with me. I'll fight him again. If Vay got it, I'll fight Vay. I don't care who got it. My goal is to get that belt.
And thank you. Next question.
Bjorn, I just wanted to know, will there be a rubber match immediately between Chandler and Alvarez, or is he going to have to go back to the tournament?
You know what, it's funny, you'd think that would be the first thing I'd be thinking about immediately after the fight. It wasn't. I'm still, you know, a bit of awe in terms of what those two guys did. I mean, obviously now that it's 1-1, and literally in my mind, it's the two best fights I've ever seen, and it just so happens it's between two guys. I mean, sometimes you just get that magic. You know, I mean, in boxing, Gotti had it with Ward, you know what I mean? And just two guys who matched each other so beautifully in terms of their skill set that they could give you just, you know, violent artistry inside the cage. And they do, those two guys match each other beautifully. So, yeah, I mean, we would, absolutely, I would do it again. I would do it again in a heartbeat. First and foremost, Mike's got to get well, Ed's got to get well, they've got to get a clean bill of health, they've got to have some time to recuperate, because that's an incredibly taxing situation to put your body through. And your mind. But once they're physiologically ready to get back in, yeah, I would do that again in a heartbeat. That's unbelievable what I saw tonight. So yeah, sure.
Bjorn over here. I was actually going to ask about the third fight with Chandler and Alvarez, but just to follow up, what are your options for that? I mean, is that a fight you can make just right now? Is there anything impediment in the way of that fight happening?
No, there isn't. Other than just the two of them being 120% healthy. I think part of the magic that they were able to create tonight was based on the fact that Ed had a long period off and was able to heal and kind of recreate what he does and what he's done so well. Michael got a lot of time off, and Michael had a couple of title defenses, but they were short order title defenses. He took no damage, but that's the kind of fight you're going to need to take some time off from. But once they're both back 120%, there's nothing in the way of doing number 3, which would be unbelievable.
For Daniel, well, the question's for you, Bjorn, but are you going to do a rematch? I mean, is the current fight the kind of fight you want to do a rematch on, or are you going to wait for a challenger to come up next?
Pat's been unbelievable, and Daniel did everything that I thought Daniel could do when Daniel was ranked in the top 10 and came back and put on an amazing performance. I'd have to go back and look at it. I mean, we do have the championship rematch clause, and that was a great back and forth tough fight. But I'd want to take a look at it before I would say, which way we would go in terms of Pat, and if Daniel and Pat would rematch, or if somebody else would step in and fight Daniel, or how it would work. But I would want to take a look at that before making a decision on it. I don't know how it isn't. I mean, literally, I think you and I have even talked about it. I've seen more MMA fights than most human beings in the world. There's probably a handful of people in the world who've seen more MMA fights live than I have. And that's the best fight and the second best fight I've ever seen. My mindset would not jump back into, okay, well, let's see who wins the next tournament is going to fight Ed. I mean, Michael Chandler and Ed are they're just the razor's edge apart in terms of who dominates a given fight. Ed could easily have won the last fight in the 3rd round, the first fight that they did, and then Ed ended up losing it in the 4th, and Ed could have gotten finished in this fight, and Michael could have gotten finished in this fight. I mean, it's just, you can't script fights like that. So I mean, my thinking would be, first and foremost concern is Michael's health and Ed's health, and when they're 100% ready to go, I would look at that fight as the 3rd in a trilogy, and do it wherever we would do it. I mean, pay-per-view would surely be an alternative for it. It was awesome.
You think it's kind of a benefit, possibly, that more free eyeballs, we've seen these great fights, where now they've been sold to people doing more than benefit?
Well, sure. I mean, look, I try to look on the bright side of things in terms of turning negatives into positives, and the fact that millions of fans got an opportunity on Spike TV to watch this fight for free tonight as a main event, getting all the pomp and circumstance which it absolutely deserved, and then delivered on in 20-fold. Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, that's a win-win. That's what you want to see. If somebody had come to me and said, I'll give you 1,000 to 1 odds that Alvarez Chandler 2 is as good, if not better, than Alvarez Chandler 1, I would have, I mean, that's a bet you take, because those kind of fights don't duplicate themselves. And this fight duplicated itself, and I would dare say, and I haven't seen it because I've watched the first one like 45 times, and I can call out things like Rocky Horror Picture Show in the first fight right before they're going to happen. But, I mean, I would, just based on what I saw, I think this was a better fight than the first one. So, I mean, that's crazy. How often does that happen? So, yeah, I mean, I would just, first and foremost, God willing, they're both okay, fine, can get back, can rest, gain some well-deserved weight, relax, see their families, and then we can talk about when we can do number 3.
I matured really late in my life. So, when I was a kid in the UFC, I wasn't mentally ready for anything to really happen. I think now, I'm married and I have kids. I know what I'm fighting for, and it's just all different. So, I'm with I'm with the MMA Lab and John Crouch and guys like Ben Henderson, and, real good people in my life. So, it's everything's completely different. Like Bjorn said, I'm fighting on a different level, and my mind was a huge stumbling block for me when I was younger, and that's not a problem anymore. So. I'm going to be tough to beat. I'm going to go in the tournament, and I'm going to win that. I'm going to fight for the belt. I'm going to win that. So I'm really, really confident. I'm going to be a hard dude to beat. So I'm excited.
Thank you, Joe. We've got time for...
To be honest with you, I was never hurt. He threw the head kick, and it hit me like on my neck and my lower part of my chin. And he came right at me, so I went to go shoot, and my leg slipped, and then grabbed his legs. We got a little scramble right there, but I was never hurt, never worried. You know, he threw a lot of shots, but a lot of them were hitting my shoulders, hitting my cup. You know what I'm saying? But it's whatever. I don't care because you know, he hit my nuts. I got a cup on. You know, he hit my leg. But the thing is, you know, not to hate, he won. But look at my face. Look at his face. You know what I'm saying? He says he's a Christmas striker, but I feel like I landed the better shots, the bigger shots. I had him hurt in the 4th round. I hurt him with the knee when against the cage. I feel like I landed the better shots, but you know what? The judges saw what they saw, and I'm not no judge, I'm a fighter. So he got the victory. Hats off to him.
Obviously, everybody was aware of what happened 10 days ago or whatever it was. I'm losing track of time, but our partners and the way that they worked with us gave us an opportunity to put this card with these level of fights on free TV. Everybody stepped up from that organization in a huge way because of their love for this game. So just a big thank you to our partners at Spike. I don't know if any of them are still here. Dave Schwartz is still here and a couple others maybe stand in the back, but they deserve a round of applause because they made it possible for us. To give fans a show like this on free television. So a big thank you to them and a huge congratulations to the guys up on this stage for giving us just an unbelievable night of fights. Thank you guys for coming.